Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back, traders, stackers, and truthers. Silver Gold Mine here. So we're Monday, June 25th, 2018, and decided to go live this morning. I have roughly an hour to waste here until I have to attend to some business. Anyhow, I figured I'd cover the stock market, what's taking place, share my opinions on the whole situation, as well as cover gold and silver, the Commitment of Traders report, and do a little bit of charting. So before I get into that, if you haven't heard by now, my YouTube channel, the backup to the original Silver Gold Man, the first backup, I should say, the original backup, has been terminated. Snippy and the gang have managed to take that channel down. So I'm now fallen back on this channel, which would be the second backup channel, as well as my Connecting Dots 3 channel that I converted to Silver Gold Man. So if you do a search on YouTube for Connecting Dots with the number 3, you'll find it. It doesn't seem to always show up here with the Silver Gold Man search, but whatever. I guess it depends what browser you're using. So that's another way to find it. So at this point, what I'm going to continue doing is using the Connecting Dots 3, the Silver Gold Man channel with about there's 8,000 subscribers there. This channel as for my live feeds and whatnot, as well as backing up all the other material that I upload on the Connecting Dots 1 Silver Gold Man channel. And hope and pray that things stay alive now. Oddly enough, I just uploaded the video last night on this channel, $75 Litecoin and the Silver Gold Man charting ridiculed, and I get hit by the same JSNIP4 associate scammer, Tom Harris, again filing a copyright strike against this channel. Now, oddly, for some reason, I'm still able to have live streaming shows. That's weird, because in the past, when I got hit with a copyright strike, I lost the ability to have live streaming shows immediately. Not this time around. So I'm fighting this one. I've already filed what do you call that? Not a retraction, but an appeal. And I'm waiting to hear what's happened. So I'm willing to take him to court. I mean, the dumbass, and I'll get into this person right now, actually. This is his YouTube channel, Tom Harris. He calls himself Cryptocurrency Watch. He also has another one, Crypto Trader, and he has another one called Crypto Tom in his featured channels. And notice how he doesn't turn off the related ones, and there's the gang, the circle jerk of corruption. Anyways, long story short, I keep saying all the time, they're guilty. Just follow the trail of who they are and who they're associated with. So we'll go check out Crypto Tom, but first I want to click on his videos. And the copyright strike that he filed against me last night on this $75 Litecoin was actually taken from his own video, this one here, where he actually takes my work and shares it on his channel. This is the part that I can't understand, is how YouTube is able to continue. So I've decided I'm just going to hit him up with a copyright strike. I'm going to go through all his videos, because you can see here, the guy has a hard on for me, okay? Because I called him out before. He initially pretended to be on our side, calling out Snippy, and then suddenly turned and he did a review of Snippy's technical analysis course that he was offering with the Trader Boss during the Litecoin thing. Anyways, he came back, Tom Harris, Cryptocurrency Watch, and gave an approval. Oh yeah, no, I checked out the program, the technical analysis. It's good. There's no scam there. Anyways, we all know now, and we've heard directly from the people who have actually paid for the course, it was a scam. They paid for nothing but bullshit. And the first segment, 13 hours of listening to Trader Boss brag about how much money he's made, and he's done this and he's done that. He's done nothing on YouTube except scam people. This guy, Cryptocurrency Watch, is a flipper. He's on one side, over on the other side. The fact is, it doesn't matter if you just follow down who he's associated with, Crypto Tom, right? And look at his other featured channels. This is all the same guy, the same Tom. Tom Harris. Crypto Tom has Wanna Crypto and Easy Peasy. Oh, and look at Easy Peasy. Oh, doesn't seem to be many videos here. Stopped 7 months ago. The pump was over, I guess. And then you go come looking down at the channel. So there's like, oh, look, he spends his time subscribing to all these different people, eh? In the crypto world. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there we go. It's this, you see, you subscribe to Snippy. Then you go to the next guy, Wanna Cranker. Remember, that was the other channel, the Crypto Tom. Wanna Crypto. Wanna Crypto. What is that? How I'm making $3,000 a month mining Bitcoin online. Oh, the best is, here he is, Crypto Freaks. He's promoting his other channel, Easy Peasy, and Trevon James. Isn't that unbelievable? There's Trevon James, another YouTube scammer. So let's go back to Crypto Tom here, Cryptocurrency Watch. There's Tom Harris. And did you notice who was on the front of his channel? Look at Craig. Trevon James. The guy is messed up big time. Anyways, if you want to go listen to this garbage, this is where he's ridiculing me, calling me the dumb, stupid, retarded Canadian. So I'm going to fight the copyright strike, and we'll see what happens there. So let's get into it, folks. Do a little bit of charting here. I'm still having my morning coffee. I'm on the West Coast, so for me it's only what, almost 9:40. I'm on my second cup. Had an interesting, I guess you'd call that a lunch dinner with a subscriber of mine who actually lives in Montreal and was a lab technician, and now he's working for Shell Canada, and he happens to be over here on Vancouver Island and decides, hey, you want to meet up? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So that was kind of interesting. As it was only like, what, the third time I think I've met someone that I have known who's listened to me on YouTube. So if anyone else happens to be traveling here to Vancouver Island, let me know. Or if you happen to be living anywhere else here in Canada, I'm traveling over to the Ottawa Valley in the next few days, leaving Vancouver Island. So if you're somewhere along my journey, if you want to join up and have a coffee somewhere, let's do it. Send me an email. I'll be traveling with my daughter, so yeah, I'm not alone. All right, so what else? Let's get right into it, guys. China stocks lurch lower as weakening currency adds to risk. Well, I'd actually made another video dealing with all of this yesterday. However, when it came time to upload it onto the Silver Gold Man backup channel, the original backup channel, I realized, oh, it's terminated. So instead, I went on with the other videos, the two other ones that came out thereafter, telling you all what was going down. So I'm going to get back into it and probably, hopefully, repeat most of what I said in yesterday's video. What are we seeing here with the China stock market? And before I get into that, you may want to hang tight because I'm about to get into the Commitment of Traders report, the COT report on gold and silver. And if you're an investor, you're most likely have come across many of these YouTubers who do financial videos. And one of the big things they keep using all the time, that's their number one tool to get you to buy gold and silver, is what? Negative news nonstop. How do I know that? I've been out here since 2009. Connecting Dots 1 was my original YouTube channel. Connecting Dots 2 is my backup after YouTube terminated in 2011 my original channel. This place is very corrupt. I'm able to put that banner up and no one can call me out on my stuff because I've got so many people that have been following me. Actually, one of the trader I met yesterday, he's like, your kids must be really impressed, you know, how you receive emails from big banks, employees from big banks. I'm like, actually, no. They think I'm kind of waste my time here on YouTube. And they're like, are they aware like how much money you've saved people over the years by warning them of the circle jerk of corruption? I'm like, nah, you know, they're younger, so they don't really appreciate that themselves. But I do know for a fact the hundreds of emails I've received here since basically 2014 is when I opened up this Silver Gold Man channel and specifically dealt with exposing the circle jerk of corruption within the financial sector. I'd had enough. I've been making videos myself regarding the financial stuff, specifically the economy and silver and a little bit of gold. I knew the people. I know all these people out here, pretty much all, unless they're new. You know, since roughly 2013, I guess, is when I stopped looking at all the new channels. Other than that, all these other people, I know them and they know me by connecting dots. They absolutely know who I am. Trust you me. In fact, my stepson made me very aware of that back in 2011 as the Fukushima meltdown was taking place, and I stopped making videos on the financial stuff and headed full bore towards nothing but Fukushima, literally 2 videos per day just to keep people updated. And I remember at one point my stepson, it wasn't really sure if I was on the right track. You know, he thought maybe I was like a doom and gloom type of guy kind of thing. And he was a younger boy back then. He would have been, what, about 10, 11 years old. And he says, you know what? I sent an email out to the 20 top YouTubers that I'm subscribed to. And he mentions some of the names. I wish I could remember them now, but as soon as he started mentioning names, I'm like, oh yeah, I heard him. I think Guitar Man was the only one I didn't know, but Sean Dawson and a few other names. I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard of these people. He says, well, I sent 20 emails out to them, and I asked them all the same question. Had they heard about Connecting Dots 1, the YouTuber, and if they did, what they thought of his channel? Was it worth listening to? And he says, I was surprised. I received an email back from 10 of them, and all 10 of them said, yes, they knew who you were, and they thought you put out good information. I was like, wow. So I know for a fact that if I was doing financial stuff on YouTube prior to the 2011 meltdown, and I already had about 3,500 subscribers back then, and I uploaded a video back then every single day on silver, I know for a fact that these people on YouTube, when I tell you that they know me, I pretty much guarantee I'm correct on that assumption, okay? So even Jeff Rentz, he knows who I am. Paul Begley absolutely knows who I am. They don't know me as a person. They don't know my face or anything. No one's, apart from this one video here, roughly about 45 minutes into it, you see my reflection in a down along the beach here as I'm about to enter a park to expose this fraud in Powell River, British Columbia, Canada. Anyhow, that's aside from that one live video where you get to see my face, no one else has ever seen my face, because I've always said to people, face the facts, not the face. The people on YouTube who show their faces are pretty much, doesn't mean all of them, but pretty much across the board, either directly associated with scams, they're part of it, or they help promote it in some way or some shape or another. It's one of the things I've found when I say, this term circle jerk of corruption, when I decided to start speaking these words, I'd already done a lot of research into this, okay, folks? In fact, I've showed this before. The original name was called the YouTube Corruption Network Busted, because I've been around here long enough that I'd realize, hold on a second. It's not by accident that Don Harrell from the Day Trade Show also happens to be on RT News, connected with Stella Concepts. Stella Concepts connected with Corey C. Dunhard. Dunhard's connected with all these other people. It's the circle jerk of corruption. So please, because you're new around here and you haven't come across the video or expose all of these people, don't leave this video thinking, oh, you're nuts. No, I'm not nuts. That's why you'll never see these comments anymore. They used to leave comments to try to fear me off. Oh, you better be careful what you say. You're going to get charged with defamation. Well, you'd think they would have charged me by now, eh? I've only been calling them frauds since basically 2012, 2013, when I'm like, I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this shit show. And then 2013, like I said, I opened up Silver Gold Man specifically to deal with these people on YouTube. And that's why I get a joke out of it when I hear people, Jason at Ford talking about Boat Pony. I'm like, oh man, I mean, that's so old school. I've already busted that guy a long time ago. They're frauds. Gregory Scamarino, the nurse, lying to everyone, telling me he worked on Wall Street for Bear Stearns prior to the 2008 collapse. No, we've got the employee directories from Bear Stearns. Gregory Mannarino is not there. He's another Freemason fraud. He's self-admitted Freemason. So yeah, I had even had it as the government shill network. No, it's more about a Freemason gang. It's pretty disgusting. I'm telling you. I wish I could get into this right now, but that's not the point of this video. I'm kind of getting off track here, but I just want to let you guys know that this is a big gang out here, and they use fear mostly, disinformation, or a twisting of the facts, or don't give you a very clear picture about the global financial situation. And instead, it's doom and gloom all the time with a strict agenda, a goal to get you to buy bullion. I've seen it time and time again. All right, so the Chinese stock market, what's happening? You guys, it's the tariffs. The tariffs. Even today, right now, in the USA, markets are down. And not just a little bit. The down, we're talking about 1.5%. NASDAQ, almost 2.5%. S&P, over 1.5%. These are not small numbers. So what we're seeing here is essentially the trade war playing out in the market. Now, don't forget, we'll get into the charts here in case you're new around here and you haven't seen the charting, but it's just important to take a look at where we're at. And is it a sell-off? Is it the end of the world? Hey, should you all get into gold and silver? Oh, boy. So that's why I said hang tight. We'll go over the commitment of traders report. I got the page lined up. You need to be informed, not feared. So Chinese stocks resumed the 1.7 trillion sell-off on Monday, and the currency slid to a 6-month low as investors brace for the next round in a trade dispute with the USA. That's exactly what's going on. So I'm going to ask you something. Even with this trade dispute going on, we, the consumers, do we keep buying stuff? Or do we stop buying for the time being and say, you know what, hold on a second. Let's not go buy that car. Well, let's not buy the motorcycle. Hold on a second. You may not want to buy that couch. Hold on. Let's not buy a house. Oh, hold on. I'm not buying that suit. No, I'm not going to change the tires on the car. No, hold on a second. I need to know what country the rubber's coming from. No, we don't care about that. We keep purchasing. So I always tell people that, with these big sell-off, chances are it's probably going to be a buying opportunity. I track things on a global scale. China right now is in hot water simply because of the unfair trade that's been taking place for years, ever since free trade came in. I was, 20-some years old? I didn't know much about the economy back then and how it operates, but I connected the dots enough to understand. I was like, hold on a second, no, this is not fair. These people are used to living on this hourly wage, this standard of living, and now all of a sudden we're supposed to come in competition with these people on that. They don't even live on the same standard. How the hell is that going to work? That's going to be negative for all of our jobs. The economists were correct, even though they're ridiculed on TV and everything. You know your TV it's organized crime, right? You guys know that. This is all controlled by the Rothschild cartel. You're not going to hear any truth on your 6 o'clock news. Fat chance. Even I've been written up on the front page of the newspaper in this town. This is the capital city where I'm in, Victoria, the capital of British Columbia. I was written up on the front page and they must have made at least 7 or 8 mistakes. I called them up the very next morning. I said, you need to retract the story. For one thing, I'm not even 62 years old. You got that one wrong right off the bat. And then all the other stories, everything else that was said about me. I'm like, hold on a second. You changed this all around. I'm actually the one who saved the day. I'm also the one who warned the police not to do this, that this is what would happen if they did. And they didn't listen to me. And now they're what? Stuck with a $30,000 repair bill on our boat. The news ridiculed the good job that I did. It would turn into the front page story on my newspaper on the Sunday morning. And I woke up, I'm like, what the hell? What is this? They're just selling newspapers. That's all they are. They're just selling newspapers. They wanted to make people laugh on a Sunday morning when they woke up and read the newspaper because it wasn't the truth. And all they could respond to me was like, well, that's what the report gave. Well, that's what the police report gave. I mean, are you telling me the police report said that all 3 people on board were all 62 years old exactly? Yes. I'm like, come on. I said, maybe the oldest guy on board was maybe 62. I said, but the other 2 were certainly not even, I wasn't even in my 50s yet. Our news is corrupt. So what we're seeing here is nothing more than a reshuffling of stocks. As the trade war dispute escalates, China is going to be the big loser right now. Big loser. Big loser. Even though our market is not looking good, it doesn't matter. It's just a reshuffling. Market sell-off accelerates. This top Chinese stock hits key support level. Will it support? Hope so. What does Trump say? The United States is insisting that all countries that have placed artificial trade barriers and tariffs on goods going into their country remove those barriers and tariffs or be met with more than reciprocity by the USA. Trade must be fair and no longer a one-way street. He's got that right. It's been a one-way street. In fact, there was a newspaper here up in Canada. I wish I could remember this one. It was just last week I was reading this one. And the story was they were demonstrating using the map of Canada and USA with all of the provinces in the states divided up. And every state and every province had a percentage number of their exports that they either, if it was a US state, how much in percentage wise did they export to Canada? The Canadian states, the Canadian provinces were broken down with a number, how much in percentage they exported to the USA. Well, the province of Ontario, roughly 50% of their GDP goes to the USA. I think the lowest country was, lowest province was it PEI? Even here in British Columbia, 23% of our goods are shipped to the USA. The US states, at best, I think 6%. One state, New York, I think they're shipping like 2%. Very little exports, I should say imports from the USA compared to our exports to the USA. So, I keep telling people that I run into, that I speak to about the economy and stuff, I'm like, well, we want the US economy to boom. So you think it's doing well now. Remember, the confidence in USA is at an all-time high. Investor confidence at an all-time. Even with this sell-off, I'm pretty sure I'll still find some pretty good stories overall. Because the fact is, ever since we've had the free trade, there's been a whole bunch of tariffs and barriers that have been put up. Trump is correct. And having these barriers come down are not going to be negative for the US economy. Not so good for the Asian countries who have been, taking advantage of that loophole. Not so good for them. And that's why the whole stock market reshuffling was taking place over in the Asian countries first before it even came over to our shores. There's going to be a reshuffling. Stocks are going to be reshuffled. But at the end of the day, The economy overall, the confidence is booming. With U.S. confidence and U.S. economy continuing to grow, in fact, you even have a labor shortage at this point in USA. So with the barriers down and the confidence high, business is more likely to expand. I just don't see how it's all going to collapse. I think this is probably more of a buying opportunity. I came across this one story, 5 Chinese stocks to consider as China heads into a bear market. I wish I could find the other story I had found yesterday, which was in that video. And they were talking about how the Chinese stock market had dropped like 7% since June 7th. But on that last day, on Friday, there was like, I can't remember, it was like the volume had shot up like by 39% or something like that. And they were saying that these are all insider sellers. These are all CEOs of corporations. They're buying their stocks. I think they're looking at this as, you know what? Let the trade barrier wars play out. At the end of the day, business will continue on. People in China, the population is ever expanding. People are going to keep buying. They're not worried about a trade war. They don't go to the local local store or even grocery store or any store whatsoever and say, oh, you know what? I shouldn't buy this right now because of this trade war. That's not going to happen. They're going to keep buying. So, I'm not going to tell you which ones they look at, they recommend here, but there's one they do happen to mention. What I want to share here is that they mentioned at one point right here, with the looming trade war, JD.com stands as one of the Chinese stocks blessed with limited U.S. exposure. They go on to say millions of Chinese jobs depend on U.S. trade. That's what's going on here. Those millions of jobs, that's the reshuffling here that's taking place. So if those millions of jobs leave China, guess where they're most likely to come and land? You got it, in the USA. So even here in Canada, because we're so dependent on exporting to the United States, we want the U.S. economy to boom. In fact, pretty much every country around the world has a great export to the USA. It's one of the largest exporters. So, in fact, we all want the USA to prosper, because when it prospers, pretty much trickles down to everyone around the world. So I think it may be a buying opportunity. You may recall here at connectingdots1.com, I started this thread here 3 days a week back in 2016 when I called the bottom in the stock market. And I actually made the video on Saturday, February 6, 2016. And I said, guys, this is when you want to buy. You want to buy when there's blood in the streets. This is how the Baron Rothschild, he became a very rich man by bluffing everyone. They don't give you the full story here behind this this battle of Waterloo with against Napoleon, because the real story was he brought his informant, whatever messenger, came back and met him at the stock market, whispered in his ear. Baron Rothschild went up to the teller and started selling his stocks. And then everyone followed him. They went up to the other tellers and they started dumping their stocks too. Well, then after a while, he went back in when they started selling. After the selling had gone on for a while, pretty much dumped. He started buying their stocks. He bluffed them. And that's how he became controller of your currency right now. Your US dollar is controlled by the Rothschild family. So, another thing. Unfortunately, and now that Snippy has taken down not only the original Silver Gold Man, but also the original backup Silver Gold Man, my videos are all gone. So I can't get over how easy it is for these people to just have my channels terminated. You may recall back in 2015, when I also warned of that big stock market crash, I was going on every day talking about this crash. And at one point, I talked about this Chinese stock market banning, how that was going to create another crash in 6 months. Again, YouTube removed the video, misleading or insufficient metadata. Metadata is what I'm doing right now. I'm speaking to you guys. How am I supposed to back it up? I back it up by showing this, but for some reason, YouTube has a problem with that, and it looked for anything to make me disappear. So yeah, that was back in 2008. I came out 6 months before that stock market crash, warning everyone what was going on. So unfortunately, the forum was taken down. I got a screenshot of it and my warning of the crash, what was going to take place. All right. So yeah, videos all gone. That's where I was heading with this one. Just letting you know that these videos, unfortunately, they've been taken down now that my channel's been terminated. All right, we'll get into some charting. I want to get a few sips of coffee in me here first and go take a look at the comments. Give me a second. All right. Hey, thanks for the thumbs up, guys. Thank you. Woohoo! Long time no live stream. Yeah, I know. Hope you're well, enjoying the summer plus motorcycle rides. Yes, doing the motorcycle rides. Hey, FBH. Copyright strikes are odd. If you're a suppressed channel, they hammer you for any tiny amount of content. I know. If you're one of the clusterfucks of Freemason corruption, you can straight up jack content. I know, eh? Hey, Pika Utsonia, how you doing, guy? So yeah, guys, a big announcement I think coming up within the next 24 hours. I don't want to say nothing yet because I'm not quite sure how this is all going to play out. So, but be prepared for some either very embellishing good news or downright friggin' sad and depressing. I don't want to say anything yet because I don't know what's going to come about here, but yeah, could be some sad stuff coming up. All right, so let's get into some charting and or let's do the commitment of traders report. And before I get into that, we'll go take a look at live silver and gold. Silver, oh, she had that drop. Damn, I wish I'd uploaded that video yesterday. People say, oh yeah, it dropped. Well, anyways, we'll see. I'm expecting this lower. I expect a strong US dollar, a strong US economy. I don't see gold and silver playing a key role for possibly another 2 years. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but right now charts are telling me no way, Jose. And I think it's probably going to be a little bit lower by the end of summer. We'll see. Watch it closely. Let's go take a look at the live gold. And it's kind of going sideways also. All right, commitment of traders report, COT report, the information that the other financial channels don't want to show you. I kid you not. They don't want to show you. All right, here we go. So producers, merchants, and processor users, that's the smart money. And so is the swap dealers. These are the two groups, I should say, of traders that you should pay attention to. The big money's here in the producers, merchants mostly, but the swap dealers have an awful lot invested also. So what we're looking at are the longs and the shorts. So you've got 19,000 contracts, 65,000 contracts. You can just take a look down below too. It also gives you an indication what has changed since the last report that was put out on June 12th, 2018. And what we can see are there's 7,316 less contracts. So the contracts, each contract stands for 5,000 troy ounces of silver. Swap dealers, same thing. We're looking at the longs and versus the shorts. You've got 59,611 versus the 47,988. The change since last report, well, we've had a decrease in the shorts by a little over 1,000 and an increase in the longs by a little over 1,000. Managed money, I always call that, ma pa money, who handed the keys over to the stockbroker and he's managing it for them. Oh boy. So 9 times out of 10, he's got them on the wrong side. If you don't believe me, just pay close attention, okay? This group is often the loser group. They're allowing the stockbroker to screw them over. So what do we see here since the last report? A decrease in the longs by almost 9,000 contracts, 8,789. An increase in the shorts by 3,324. Now, other reportables, the amounts are small, but whatever, there's still a decrease of almost 2,000 in the shorts, an increase in the longs by 521. Non-reportable positions, you've got an increase of 246 on the shorts and an increase of the longs of 573. The next one that you really want to pay attention to, it's the percentage of open interest held by the indicated number of the largest traders. Okay, by gross position, oops, sorry about that one. That went sideways. By gross position, 4 or less traders. On the short, you've got 29.1 versus 26. 8 or less traders. On the short, you've got the 46.3 versus the 35.3. By net position alone, 4 or less traders on the short, you've got 27.7 versus the 25.9. 8 or less traders, you've got 47.6 versus 34.6. So it's the same thing as pretty much I've been showing here all along. It's the shorts. The shorts are in control of this market still at this point, or at least they're betting their odds. They're betting that the odds are that gold and silver will go over, or at least silver. So let's go over the gold and see what we have here. Maybe it's a different ball game, but I have a feeling it won't be. So again, producers, merchants, processors, users, big money. Swap dealers, big money. Managed money, ma-pa, and the rest of them are just not really not that relevant. But here we go again. On the changes here since the last report of June 12th, 2018, you've got a decrease in the shorts on gold by 21,715 contracts. Now, these contracts are all worth 100 troy ounces, not the 5,000 with silver, as with silver, only a troy. Only 100 troy ounces. So it's still a decrease of 21,000, but it's still overwhelming short at 134,176 contracts versus the long sitting at only 60,845. So same thing with the swap dealers, overwhelming short 130,869 versus the 100,191. They changed those since the last report. They've had a decrease here of 6,570 and an increase in the longs of 4,755. Managed money, ma-pa, well, the managers took them out on the long by 12,000, almost 13,000 gold contracts gone. The shorts, though, increased by 28,000. Holy jumping. They actually may have pulled a good move here, but as you take a look at the contracts, you can still see managed money. They've got over 98,432 contracts wrapped in long versus the 74,918 on the shorts. Non-reportables and other reportables, well, we still have a great 82,792 long, and you've increased them by an additional 8,792 on the long versus the shorts that are sitting at 22,563. Now, over at the non-reportable positions, we have 34,193 long versus 53,453 long. So, again, going back to the percentage of open interest indicated by the number of the largest traders by gross position, 4 or less traders on the shorts, 24.6 versus the 14.9. 8 or less traders on the shorts. They're sitting at 35 versus the 23.5. Now by net position, same ball game pretty much across the board. They're outstanding, 18.4 versus 12.9, and here a whopping 26.8 versus 17.4 on the 8 or less traders. So the game hasn't changed a whole lot. The picture pretty much looks the same. Whole lot of people expecting lower prices of gold and silver, at least for the smart money. Ma and Pa, different ball game. All right, so transports. You know, I decided to pull this one up because I'm telling you guys, you always want to watch the transports. If we start seeing negative stuff in the transports, that's not good. And if it does start breaking their support, we're going to look as the same thing here. When it broke that support, we're looking for a reversal. Reversal 2016. Remember, call the bottom in February. That's it. That was a reversal that I called. So I'm gonna add a little bit more time on this, an extra 2 months. I need another sip of coffee. I'm not awake yet. And you're saying, oh, what? Listen to them talk. I know. Imagine how fast it's going upstairs when I'm actually running full tilt. I smoked what at least a full joint here this morning. Seriously, that's how fast this motor runs. All right, so what are we looking at here, guys? We're hoping for the support here around that 10,000 on the transports, which works out with the blue line, the 50-day moving average. So I expect possibly a repeat scenario where she comes down, hits it, bounces back off, maybe goes back and retests a previous area of resistance, and breaks back, maybe tests it again, and then finally we're off. So we may spend the next 2 months doing a sideways shuffle. This is on a weekly time period, okay? And I can see there's a consolidation taking place here. Our MACD is above the 0 threshold, however, still looking like a little bit more downside. Sellers, I don't know, we'll take a look here on this next leg down, what happens with the histogram, but right now, I don't see the big, heavy histogram bars that I was anticipating on seeing after these 2 big down days in a row. Seems to be very light. So this just might be a small little sell-off here, and maybe find this bottom a little bit sooner, and then we can float sideways for, well, like I said, possibly up to 2 months, but I don't think it'll take us that long to get out of this. You know, we're heading into summer also. That's my other concern. Trading is very light normally during the summer. You're not seeing the market breaking out to new highs usually during the summer months. People are traders, investors, people in general. They're taking advantage of the nice weather. They're out visiting, their holidays, yada, yada, yada. Like even myself traveling out to see my family. You know, they don't have time to be watching their stocks and or even thinking about investing. In fact, most of that investment money will come in a surge after the holidays are done, and people have maybe started new business deals, or you know, terminated some contracts over the course of the summer and are getting paid out. That's when I expect things to speed back up, probably by September, maybe second week of September. So expect the market here to do a little bit of sideways shuffle. Even though I'm going on holidays, I'm actually hooking up a small data plan on this secondary phone that I purchased. I don't even own a smartphone, so I purchased a smartphone just so I could do some charting and look at stuff. So I'm putting a plan on that. I'll be looking at some charts. I'm bringing a laptop with me. I'll stop and make some videos and track the cryptos and the stock market, even though I'm away from my trading desk this summer. All right, so transports, that's what we're looking at. We're looking for some support in those areas. I'm going to take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average today. Again, we're on the weekly chart. She's back down here to this area of support. Is she going to hit the 50-day moving average like she did here? Okay, the 50-day moving average again is the blue line. Retest it, bounce back up. That's what we're hoping. I can see the, if you look up really close here, the green bars, the Bollinger Bands. See how tight they are? That consolidations has taken place, so I'm expecting a a big move coming up. So I'm going to tell you right now, there's definitely a chance because of this trade war stuff that's not done yet. There's a good chance we're going to see this summer sell-off continue on. 22,200 kind of looks like an area of support. But it's day by day at this point. We'll see where this goes. MACD's not looking healthy. The only thing positive is that we're still above the zero threshold. So it could be just a sell-off, and then eventually she'll find some support and bounce right back up, which I think that's what's going to happen. Because I'm not getting a sense that the global economy around the world is all falling apart and people are losing and confidence in their economy or in their investments. So I just don't see the end of the world here. So NDX. So NASDAQ 100 almost down this week, because this is a weekly chart right now. I go put it on the daily. That's today, 2.84. That's a hell of a smackdown. Let's go put this on a shorter time frame here. So that's actually a gap down at this point. So will she find support in this area right about here? 6,850. That's what we're hoping at this point. Again, MACD's above the zero threshold, so that's about the only thing that's still positive at this point. What else here? SPX. E500. Same thing, gap down 1.69%. Hitting the bottom of the Bollinger Band. Looks like it's trying to find some support at this area. The support comes all the way back from right about here. Yeah. I don't think it's going to hold it. I think you're probably going to see another down day next couple of days, to be honest with you. Okay, COMPQ. Nasdaq Composite Index, again, another gap down. So Friday we had heavy volume. Today is a little bit lighter. You notice the volume bar? A lot lighter compared to Friday. But Friday, yeah. She must have broke, these guys must have had their stop losses on. And when she retraced, they said, that's it. We're out of here. We're out of here. So again, MACD's above the zero threshold. That's the positive here. We'll keep track and see if maybe tomorrow will be at last push down with maybe touching the 50-day moving average, giving us a hammer and closing back up where we can pick back up by Wednesday. But at this point, not looking very good. SLV, let's pull that one up. Yeah, that's not looking very good either, is it? Oh, Gregory Mannarino said that Dow was going to hit 6,000 and silver would be 600. Will it be in 2018? I doubt it. Come on, the guy's full of shit. He's been saying that for years now. And Crush the Streets, Daniel Amuri has been pumping the bullshit along with him. And the news, news unit circle jerks with the rest of them and won't call him out. And Maestro Way, who's invited here by Gregory Mannarino, won't call him out either. I mean, it's pretty sad. But I get a kick out of when those guys make videos about me or other YouTubers like Snippy and call them frauds, and yet they won't call out Mannarino. Yeah, that circle jerk of corruption. All right. John the Mouse, how you doing? Michael G's, how's it going today? See you taking a break from your book reading. Yes, on this chart, you can see mom and pop money is doing the opposite. Big money, damn, they are getting screwed. Yeah, they get screwed pretty much all the time. 3 weeks off, it's hard to get back in the swing of things, eh? I did spend some time at Alcatraz prison. Oh, you're an inmate. Yeah, I figured you were making a video on it. So, do a little refresh here. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, this refreshes every 10 minutes on its own. Looks like she's trying to find some support here, but still, big down day in the markets. Let's take a look at some of these stocks. I always get a... When I used to play the market every day, I used to come out here all the time, FinViz, and always try to find something that I thought was going to do some nice big moves. And you know, these continuation trades, though, they're a lot riskier. That's the only thing I hate about them. So if you catch it on the first big day of the launch, then you're all right. But like this one here, NTRA, to hop in there at this point and hope for another big green day. Oh boy, yeah, don't be doing that shit. Don't be doing that shit. I'm not saying it won't have another green day, but you know, the odds of it having another 14% day in a row, they're not in your favor, you know. Someone was saying the other day, he was like, your technical analysis is gambling. And I was going to like to chew him out, and I'm like, hold on a second. Well, you're right in a sense. You're right. The indicators doesn't mean when you see it on the indicators, you're 100% correct that what you're seeing is going to play out, you know, exactly like it has every other time thereafter when the indicators are in that position. So, but the odds, right? The odds, statistically, the odds are in your favor that this will play out for you. And that's why I like technical analysis. You're not getting into something blindfolded, not having a clue which direction or what a stop loss is or nothing, you know, like that sucks. That sucks. And I mentioned stop losses, but I don't even use them all the time myself. But regardless, pivot points, hammers, shooting stars, you know, so much stuff that just the average person who took my technical analysis course, I guess this is a good time to pump it. Is there anyone here in the comment section who's taking this course? I'd like you guys to speak up if you can. Anyone who took this course, the technical analysis, these are video lessons. You know, you learn this stuff, and you look at charts now in a totally new perspective. It looks totally different than it ever did. You're like, oh shit, now I get it. Now I get, for example, it looked like this one here, you know, that great big shooting star with the big volume behind it. Oh, you know, you might as well tell your friends right now, sell. It's almost guaranteed it's going to drop. It's almost guaranteed. Again, it's not guaranteed, but I'm just saying, if you were to gamble on it, I would gamble that it's going to come down. In fact, that's what I did on silver. Let's go pull that one up. People may recall. I don't know if there's anyone listening to me right now from back then, but I did this with the Brexit, the whole Brexit bullshit. I said, don't listen to those people. They're full of shit, man. And then the damn thing did a shooting star. Where was that? That was... I got to go back in time. I think it was right here. So on the spot price of silver went up, I think it was $21, almost $21. So I was warning everyone back then, don't listen to these people on YouTube. They're going to tell you Brexit's the end of the world. The economies are going to fail. The currencies are going to collapse. Everyone's going to start trading using gold and silver at the local corner store. They're all full of shit. They're all full of shit, okay? We're not going to start using gold coins and silver coins at the store. I mean, I did almost run out of propane one day, and I didn't have physical cash on me, and lucky for me, in the van, the propane van, I happened to be sitting, I think I had 10 or 15 of those 2010 Vancouver Olympic coins, you know, with the hockey player on it, the silver 1 ounce silver coins. So, and I'm limited in propane on Vancouver Island, specifically in the city of Victoria. There's only one station, and I didn't want to chance out driving out of town to grab propane out there. So I figured, you know what, I'll do a pit stop here before I head to my place and grab the cash. I'll see if this guy's willing to buy this coin for 25 bucks. I was shocked. He says, yeah, I'll buy the coin. Go ahead and put your propane in. So I put 25 bucks of propane. Other than that, you know, it's very rare for people to accept silver bullion or even coins for payment. So don't fall into the bullshitters on YouTube that are selling you this doom and gloom that, you know, all currencies are going to collapse and everyone's going to start using cryptocurrencies for their day-to-day activities. Total bullshit. Total bullshit, okay? So we're just talking about shooting stars. There is a shooting stars right there. Heavy volume behind it. The following is a hammer, indicating possibly it's the reversal. And now we're having another reversal. So we're at a point right now where silver will have a big move that's either up or down. What are the odds? What are the odds? Well, personally, because I'm not 100% sure that it's going to drop, and if you were to play the SLV at this point, you would have to short it. I don't really like shorting unless I'm 100% sure where it's going to go. So I would wait it out and wait to see which way she would tend to go. At this point, like I said, though, I believe we're probably going to have a stronger US dollar. So I've been saying for a while that I'm expecting us to break the previous low of 13 and we're going to make it down to 12 bucks an ounce. I also shared with you guys that one of the past traders from Bear Stearns, as I mentioned earlier on in the video about Gregory Mannarino. In fact, I just thought of something. I'm going to ask that guy to actually check his employee directory also for Gregory Mannarino so we can have him busted from 2 ex-employees from Bear Stearns. Anyhow, I shared with you guys how an ex-employee from Bear Stearns, prior to the 2008 crash, had tried to warn the higher-ups at Bear Stearns that it was on the verge of collapsing. And what did they do? They fired him instead, only to turn out he was absolutely correct. I think it was 2-3 months later, it collapsed. And by the way, I did ask the trader who didn't put me in contact, but mentioned about this, his buddy that worked at Bear Stearns. I did ask him to put me in contact with the trader to see if he would come out here and share his Bear Stearns story with everyone. He doesn't want to. He's too low key. He doesn't want to. Because of where he works too, and I understand, I totally understand, because you're in that financial stuff, and we're dealing with money here, guys. You got to remember, we are dealing with money, and most of the people that are involved in these markets, for example, the Bear Stearns, the brokerage firm, they're corrupt. They're absolutely corrupt. So the guy is not stupid. He's actually doing himself a career favor at this point not to come out on YouTube and spill the beans about Bear Stearns, because he's screwed and tattooed at that point. If he tries to move on in his career and get another job with another big banking company or brokerage firm, they'll remember, yeah, now you're the guy that went and spilled the bean and whistleblowed on all of us. He doesn't want that shit. So he's refused to come out. However, I did share with you guys that he's also sitting on a pile of cash and he's waiting for $12 silver also. That's why my trader shared it with me. He says, you're not the only one who's made a prediction for $12 silver. This buddy here, this friend of mine who worked at Bear Stearns, is also expecting the same price as you. I'm like, wow, thanks a lot, man. Because that, remember, guys, I've never even finished high school. Je n'ai éducation française. I was forced to go to school in French. I've never finished high school. So for me to do stuff on financial stuff and make predictions on things, I could totally get it where people's like, I'll listen to you, but I'm not going to take it too serious. I mean, in fact, I don't know if the trader is going to come out to the comment section, but he may actually say that. He said, and I've heard that before. People say that. And Silver Gold Man, I got to be honest with you. When I at first started listening to you, it was because Snippy mentioned Silver Gold Man, and I came over and I checked it out, and I'm like, that guy's a hater. And I was just told that again yesterday at the restaurant. The guy told me, it's like, when I first came across your channel because of Snippy, I thought you're just a hater. But then I can't remember which coin it was. I think it was the pillar token. The pillar token. Remember, the CEO, Snippy had an interview, and the CEO says at some point in the future, the owners of the pillar token, the wallet, will have to receive a chip implant in their wrist. Did you just say a chip implant in our wrist? So Snippy never said diddly squat about that. And anyone who knows anything about the New World Order, their agenda, their monetary agenda was to eventually chip everyone. So the guy says, look, that was the day when I heard that interview. It was like, I kind of had my doubts started, my red flag started going up on Snippy. So he said, I started listening to you. I started listening to your old videos. And then I realized, damn it, this guy's right. Snippy's a paid pumper, a bullshitter, a liar, a scammer, a thief in my books. In my books, he's a thief. So yeah, I'm expecting silver to go lower. And let's go take a look at DSLV. Okay, I just realized it's 10:30. I got to get going. So we had the opposite on the SLV, where you've had the instead of the hammer, instead of the shooting star on the SLV, you had the hammer on the DSLV with the large volume. The next day, a shooting star, low volume. So there's a chance this may continue on. It's a consolidation. That's what I've been expecting for the longest time. I've been telling everyone, I think we're going to go back up here and hit these previous highs on this. Of 75 is where I was expecting. 74, 75. That's what I think is probably going to play out here eventually with this DSLV. That our YouTuber loves silver, eh? Yeah, I'm going to do some of that also, Michael. Well, it's not going to be historical, but I'm going to stop at a couple of spots here and take some video footage. So I'll be sharing that with you guys. Spotted Lake and also the banks of the Lake Superior. I think there's some nice views there that are worth sharing. Anyways, guys, I gotta take off here. I got some stuff I gotta deal with. And later on today or tomorrow, I'll be making, hopefully it's going to be a good news video and not the bad news. I just don't know how this is going to play out. But anyways, stay tuned. I shouldn't say for sure, but there is definitely there's a possibility I'll be uploading a big announcement. All right, so I'm going to end it here. Ciao for now. Thanks for dropping by. Thank you very much for all the thumbs up. And again, if you're just tuning in, my main Silver Gold Man channel was taken down, 4 months ago, 5 months ago. The backup channel, Silver Gold Man, was taken down just yesterday. And now we're on, this is the backup channel. So yeah. Ciao for now. I'm going to close this up. Hope you guys have a great day.